It's Ron Reader digs the universe. I'm Ron Reader, and this is Ron Reader Digs the Universe, and tonight, Steely Dan, Art, and Murder. I watched an episode of musician critic Rick Beato's YouTube show recently in order to find out more about why Steely Dan's surviving member Donald Fagen told one of the producers of that Netflix yacht rock documentary to go fuck himself. Essentially, the episode serves as a reminder of Steely Dan's serious musical and literary background. I mean, as opposed to their and other groups' inclusion in a podcaster's made-up pop culture category with elitist connotations. I mean, you know, what kind of people in our society are most likely to own a yacht anyway? So, you know, either serious music and art criticism matters, or it doesn't, and it does, which is why I understand fully why Donald Fagen would be so dismissive of the yacht rock concept. And really, this just encapsulates a lot of what I love about Steely Dan. Next to the Beatles, they're my favorite band. Really, I love them both equally, just in different ways. They're likely the biggest reason I became a jazz fan. I'm totally crazy for their impeccable musicianship, their rock and roll non-traditional chord structures, chord progressions, and song structures. And their lyrics invoke strange and hip worlds of bittersweet and ironic triumph and tragedy, achingly specific, while at the same time maddeningly vague, casting as their protagonists ordinary folk, gamblers, thieves, con men, drug addicts, drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes, and killers. You put that all together and it is magic. 50s beat generation stuff, 70s jazz fusion stuff rising above its source material, achieving timelessness. So I was thinking about all this, you know, the music theory behind Steely Dan, and I was thinking that it would be cool if Donald Fagen were to do a song about Luigi Mangione killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. You know, it's both sleek and sleazy, totally right up Donald Fagen's alley, I thought. Kind of like the Steely Dan song Godwhacker with its elite hit squad trying to kill God, or the guy with a case of dynamite holed up in a police standoff and Don't Take Me Alive. Such a song about Luigi Mangione would be great. Whatever Fagen did with it, I mean he's fucking Donald Fagen, right? This being the age of social media, and with me being pleased by my idea, I took to the Steely Dan group I belong to on Facebook to raise this idea up the flagpole to see if anyone would salute it. I was hoping for some sophisticated and intelligent discussion. I mean, how could Steely Dan fans not be sophisticated and intelligent? And I got that. Lots of comments situating Mangione well within the context of Steely Dan's oeuvre. Lots of, almost exclusively, positive reactions. But lots of other people were furious with me for making this suggestion. They called me sick, said I'm fucked up. They told me they were reporting me. Taken aback, I quickly worked out that these hostile commenters and what appears to have been a knee-jerk reaction assumed my suggestion that Donald Fagen write a song about the murder is the same thing as supporting the murder, which I don't, as discussed on this show a couple weeks back, but who cares about any of that? Admins deleted my post. So I quit the group. It was already, you know, kind of lame, mostly silly jokes about the songs, and I don't even remember what else. It's a drag, though. The kind of complex, nuanced thinking one needs to fully appreciate the work of Steely Dan is too much to ask for your average Facebook active rock and roll fan, apparently. Understanding art, criticizing art can and should get messy and dangerous. I mean, art is messy and dangerous. So too are culture and politics, and the intellectual discipline and skill we use to understand these things are very similar to what we need to understand art. If Americans can't get it together enough to discuss an imaginary Donald Fagen song, how the hell are we gonna beat fascism? I'm Ron Reeder, and this has been Ron Reeder Digs the Universe. Join me, Ron Reeder, again next week for another episode of Ron Reeder Digs the Universe.